When the laughter echoed through the glass hallways of Hawthorne Dynamics, nobody paid attention to the woman pushing the cleaning cart. Her name was Ava Coleman, quiet, graceful, and invisible to almost everyone who worked there. To them, she was just the black cleaning lady, the one who emptied their bins, polished their tables, and never spoke unless spoken to. But what they didn't know was that the woman they mocked every day was the one person who could bring the entire company to its knees. It was a Thursday morning, just like any other. The executives poured in, polished shoes, designer suits, and fake smiles. Ava walked past them, carrying her mop and supplies, but she could feel their eyes on her. "Careful with that bucket, sweetheart," one man joked, not even looking up from his phone. Another laughed. "Don't spill it near the CEO's office again. She'll probably lose her job for good this time." Ava just smiled faintly and kept moving. She had learned long ago that silence was stronger than anger. For 10 years she had worked there, first as a janitor, then as the night shift supervisor for cleaning staff. Every day she listened and watched. The corruption, the arrogance, the cruelty, all hidden beneath the company's perfect image. She saw bonuses cut for the lower staff, while executives toasted champagne to record profits. She heard whispered jokes about diversity hires, about how people like her should be grateful just to have a job. She had seen enough to fill a book, and she had been taking notes. But Ava had a secret, one that would change everything. Because behind her quiet smile and work uniform, Ava was the widow of Leonard Coleman, the late co-founder of Hawthorne Dynamics. When he died unexpectedly, his shares had quietly transferred to her, making Ava the largest single shareholder in the company. She never revealed it, not yet, not until she was ready, because Ava knew that power meant nothing if you didn't know how to use it. That day, as she scrubbed the marble floor outside the executive lounge, she overheard 2 senior managers talking. They were laughing about upcoming layoffs. 30 people gone just like that," one said, sipping his coffee. "They'll replace them in a week. Half of them don't even know yet." Ava froze. 30 people. Janitors, assistants, secretaries, the ones who worked the hardest for the least. And these men were joking about it. That night, Ava couldn't sleep. She sat at her kitchen table with her old laptop, pulling up documents, board reports, and internal memos she had quietly collected over the years. Inflated expenses, fake invoices, hidden bonuses. The proof was all there, buried in plain sight. She poured herself a cup of tea, opened her notebook, and began to write. Tomorrow, she decided, they would see her for who she really was. The next morning, Hawthorne Dynamics was buzzing with excitement. The annual board meeting was about to begin, the one where the CEO, Charles Benton, would announce another year of unprecedented success. Ava arrived early. She wasn't in her green uniform today. Instead, she wore a charcoal gray blazer, her late husband's gold ring glinting on her finger. For the first time, she wasn't carrying a mop. She was carrying a folder. Inside the boardroom, the atmosphere was smug. Executives chatted about stock prices and new investments. When Ava walked in, heads turned in confusion. "Excuse me, ma'am," one of them said impatiently. "This area's restricted. The cleaning staff can wait until we're done." Ava smiled softly. "Oh, I'm not here to clean," she said. The CEO chuckled. "Then what are you doing here, Ava? Did we forget to pay your overtime again?" A few people laughed, but the laughter died the moment she placed the folder on the table. "What's this?" Charles asked, frowning. "Proof," Ava replied. She opened the folder and began to speak, her voice steady, calm, and clear. "For years, I've watched this company destroy good people. I've seen lies covered up, bonuses stolen, and workers humiliated while you celebrated your success. You thought I was invisible, but I saw everything." The room fell silent. "And now," Ava said, looking directly at Charles, "I'm taking my company back." Charles leaned back, smirking. "Your company?" That's a bold claim, Ms. Coleman. It's not a claim, Ava said, sliding a document across the table. It's a fact. I own 51% of Hawthorne Dynamics. The color drained from his face. The executives whispered, flipping through the papers. Stock certificates, signed and verified. You're bluffing, Charles said, his voice rising. You think you can just waltz in here and— I can, Ava interrupted quietly. And I am. Effective immediately, you're terminated from your position as CEO. The silence that followed was deafening. Ava didn't yell. She didn't gloat. She simply stood her ground as security entered the room, summoned not by Charles, but by her. Charles tried to protest, his words tumbling out in disbelief. But it was too late. The vote had already been called. One by one, the board members nodded in agreement. The man who once mocked her was escorted out of the building he thought he owned. When Ava walked out of that room, every eye in the office followed her. The same people who once ignored her now stared in awe. The same men who laughed at her now whispered her name with respect. She didn't stop to bask in it. She had work to do. Over the next few weeks, Ava transformed the company. She reinstated fair wages for the janitorial and support staff. She introduced diversity programs, mental health benefits, and transparent pay policies. She met with employees personally, listening to their struggles and promising change. And for the first time in a decade, Hawthorne Dynamics became a company that valued people as much as profit. One afternoon, a young intern, barely 20, stopped her in the hallway. I just wanted to say, he said shyly, you've changed this place. Thank you. Ava smiled. No, she said softly. We changed it. As she stood by the glass windows overlooking the Dallas skyline, she thought back to her first day. The whispers, the laughter, the dismissive glances. It all seemed like another lifetime. The woman they once ignored had become the leader they never saw coming. And as the sun set over the city, Ava realized something profound. Sometimes the people you overlook the most are the ones holding the greatest power of all. Because respect isn't given by title or money. It's earned through courage, integrity, and the strength to stand up when no one else will.